Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for How to Get Away with Murder, you guys. Season 6, Episode 1, and this will be the finale season, okay? This is the grand season. It's all done after this. Our girl Annalise is back. She's fucked up as usual. I'll tell you that Annalise been through so much. I be feeling so bad for her. Oh, poor Annalise. Anyway, you guys, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with somebody being dead. It's a funeral. We see the Keaton 5 minus, well, I guess 2 now. We see real nice natives there looking good as usual. I'm like, who's dead? Who's dead? Is it Laurel and her eyebrows? No, it's not. Okay, little Christopher comes running around the corner and he opens the casket and he pulls a gun. That's right, little Christopher is probably about 5 years old now. He pulls a gun and he points it at Annalise and says, "Stay dead, bitch." Then she yells out and we see Annalise. She looked like she's at some rehab. Okay, I said, oh, Annalise. Oh, excuse me, her name is Karen here. And they're doing an exercise where they're able to visualize their funeral, the people that are there, the feelings that the people are having. And Karen is sharing her experience right now. And this is all to help them see how they want to live their life, how they want to picture their life, and how they want to die. So the counselor asked Annalise, how did the people there feel? And she said, happy that she's dead, okay? That's pretty much how she sees it anyway. But you know, Karen being Karen, she doesn't open up much, and everybody there kind of want to know what she does. There's one of her rehab patients. Actually, it is her roommate, Sally. Sally tells her they've been trying to guess what she is, but you know, Annalise ain't never coming up off of that. Excuse me, Karen. I got to keep remembering Karen. So after she probes and pokes at Annalise a little too long, you know, Karen finally tells her, okay, I'm a gangster who shoots people who don't shut up when they ask too many questions. So Karen's true personality is finally coming about. Now back home, Bonnie is telling the boys that Annalise has gone to rehab. They're like, now? Why would she do that now? She's going to lose her license if the board finds out. Well, we can't let the board know. They're all trying to figure out what to do about Laurel and her eyebrows and the damn baby that's gone. Michaela wants to go to the FBI. Oliver, get this, he wants to go torture Xavier. I said, listen to this old Oliver, old scaredy cat, okay? Well, he's not going to do it, but fine-ass Frank will do it, okay? But so everybody has their solutions. Bonnie says, absolutely, we're not going to the FBI. Did you forget that we are all under investigation? Now, how's it going to look? We going up there telling them some shit like this. Michaela swears that girl's chained in the basement with the baby. So we're, girl, that Laurel and her eyebrows may be a whole bunch of things, but she ain't chained no fucking where. Now we see Steen looking sharp as usual, girl, hair all coiffed up in a, you know, real nice braided, you know, bun. And the FBI is questioning her about Emmett's death. She was like, oh boy was not fixing to kill himself. And they said, are you sure? I mean, even with the governor coming out and saying that he was guilty. And she was just like, yeah. And then he just happened to have poison in his office. They were like, you believe he was poisoned? And she said, wasn't he? I was like, yeah, I thought so too, Steen. And then it flashes back to when she you know, called Annalise to let her know that, you know, oh, our boy is gone. He's dead. And she believes that it was the governor and all of them. At least she's asking Annalise, is that what the case is? So anyway, they got to wait on the autopsy. So FBI so far is saying they don't know, okay? But when the FBI agent is walking out, hey, weren't you just given partnership in the company? And she says yes. And he says, oh, you know, congrats. All right, I guess that was a little slight thing to let her know that you might be a suspect as well. So when she finishes with the FBI director, you know, she gives Annalise a call and she's just like, girl, I know you're out there trying to get better, but I need you to hurry on up, okay? I was hoping that I was going to be able to talk to a nice voice, okay? I don't know what to do around here. I'm nervous. Get better and get better soon. And she means that with the emphasis on soon. Well, Karen is trying, okay? So she's still sitting there with her counselor and her, you know, her co-rehab people there. The counselor wants to know exactly what happened at their funerals, okay? Sally jumps in, and Annalise's roommate. And the counselor's like, Sally, let's let somebody else talk. You know, always taking over, okay? Karen, what happened at your funeral? Well, you know how Karen can be, always down on herself, always feeling like she is the problem, when really she's the solution, if you ask me. She just says that everybody there is happy that she's dead. Everybody is kind of sick of Karen and the fact that she keeps herself so closed off. Okay, she doesn't want anybody to know who she is. She doesn't really talk much. Okay, and they're just like, well, you know, why don't you open up? Oh, okay, well, you know what that means. Open up a can of whoop ass. Karen is good at reading people immediately. So she looks around and she talks about everybody. And the counselor says, well, Karen, it's obvious that you're good with words. So why don't you tell me some of the words that people thought about you at your funeral? How would they describe you? So then Karen says, mean, narcissist, freak, bitch, bully, badass, slut, trash, homewrecker, depressive, ugly, dirty, talker, abuser, monster, failure. Terrible way to think of yourself. Does Annalise really feel this way about herself? She definitely does. That's why she cannot seem to get out of this, whatever she is in. The sad thing about it is, yes, she has been called all of those things and more. Poor Annalise. So later on, the counselor moves the group to another exercise. So we've had the funeral exercise, you know, where you visualize what people are saying about you at this funeral. Now, we are going to beat these bad words and these bad feelings out of us by putting them on pieces of paper, putting it on an ottoman, and taking a bat, not a real bat. Okay, we are in a rehab, but you know, taking this stick and you're gonna beat at the words because these are things that you are not. So everybody around has their ottoman, has their words, has their stick, and they're beating it up. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not a bad person, I'm not a slut, I'm not a monster, I deserve this, I deserve. Okay, so they're going through all of these motions, and Annalise is looking around like, like that. I guess. So after the exercise, she sits down with the counselor, and the counselor's like, look, I get it. You know, that ain't really my kind of exercise either. Okay, Karen asks her, well, what works for her? She says her vibrator. Okay, let's try something else, a little one-on-one. A tete-a-tete. So let's just talk about these words between me and you. So she picks up one of the words, and it says selfish. And she says, okay, so what about this one? And Annalise says that she's selfish because her friends need her and she's here. And the counselor says, but you're trying to get better. And she says, yeah, but they need me. I've caused them pain. The reason that they're in pain is because of me. I need to help them get better. You know, Annalise is talking to the counselor, but she's also flashing back to when she lost Laurel and her eyebrows and, you know, her drinking, and, you know, she just can't get that out of her head. She feels responsible for everything that has happened. And when she comes back to the counselor's like, listen, I can't help you if you know, you can't tell me things. And Annalise is like, I know. And right then I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, Annalise is doomed because she's done all of these things and she can't say anything. Okay, how can you release something if you can't tell anybody about what you've done? It's always got to stay bottled up inside of you. So I was thinking right then, even on my notes, I was like, oh, Annalise is trapped. That's why she keeps on revisiting how horrible of a person that she is. Then I really felt bad for her. So the counselor is like, you got to forgive yourself. You got to be able to move on. And, you know, you have got to be able to do this before you can move forward. Otherwise, you're going to end up right back here. Okay. And we already know that because Annalise has been through countless rehabs. None of them have worked. Okay. Or you're going to be dead. And I mean that literally. So, you know, you really got to try to figure this out. So anyway, she goes back to her room. Sally's there. And, you know, always getting on Karen's nerves as usual. And then Karen's phone rings. You know, Sally's like, you were supposed to turn that in. And she was like, you know, sue me. So she goes out on the balcony and Bonnie is telling her that Emmett's body was transferred to London. Okay, what? That's crazy. I know, but, you know, there's nothing that we can do about it. You know, Bonnie asked her how she's doing. She was just like, yeah, this place is really kind of for the birds. Okay, but I'm trying to work on, you know, forgiving myself. And Bonnie was like, well, you should. You beat yourself up enough. I'm thinking to myself like, you know, oh, Miss Winterbottom should be down there right alongside of Annalise. I mean, she's not an alcoholic, but yeah, I think we'd all say that Bonnie has her own mental issues right now. But she seems to be a whole lot more put together than last season, even though it's just supposed to be a couple of days later. So while she's talking to Bonnie again, she flashes back to, when she found out about Emmett. She's at the bar. She's drinking shot after shot after shot, okay? Some unknown black man just comes up behind her and starts dancing. Annalise loves to dance, okay? They go to the bathroom. I was like, girl, you're not about to fuck him in this bathroom. I mean, he is kind of cute and everything, but let's not go there, but she is very drunk, you can tell. Child, they go in the bathroom and they get to doing cocaine and who the fuck knows else, okay? She get to passing out in the bathroom, and then we see on the dance floor and she having a good time, and she just hazed out, and she look at us and said, oh Lord, this is definitely Annalise's rock bottom. We ain't never see her do drugs and shit. Like, have we? I really don't think so. It's always been alcohol. So next thing we know, she's in a hospital. She's in the hospital bed. Miss Cold Ass is there talking to the doctor, and we find out that she not only was drinking, but she had cocaine, MDMA, and fentanyl in her system as well. All right, so this is new shit. So Bonnie goes over there, and Annalise was like, I need help. I said, you sure do. Poor Annalise. She really, really needs help. So this is how she's ended up at this rehab facility. Okay. And speaking of the rehab facility, when she goes back in off of the balcony, Sally tells her that they're coming to get her cell phone. So she's obviously told, oh bitch. So then they go to bed, and evidently Karen has been talking in her sleep. Sally wakes up and says, so who's Bonnie? Oh Lord. Okay, Karen's thinking to herself, if I just keep my eyes closed, maybe she'll stop talking. But she doesn't. Again, Sally presses her, tells her that she hasn't been involved in this whole process. She doesn't talk to anybody. She doesn't smile at anybody. And Karen says, that's because I've been trying to avoid your ass. And Sally says, well, that's why people don't want to be around you, okay, because you're hard to love. I said, oh, child, you about to get it. And sure enough, Karen opens up another can, and she completely reads Miss Sally down. Oh, yeah, you up here, this is, mother of the year. You got that big ring on your finger. That means that you've been married, and you popped out all these babies for a man that probably doesn't want to have sex with you anymore. So you done poured your whole life into your kids, okay? And when the kids don't feel like being bothered with you, you got to beg them to like you because they give you purpose. And Sally's like, they're not my purpose. And I was like, oh, Karen, you getting somewhere. And she was just like, you have nothing else but those kids. They're your whole entire life. And without them, you are nothing. And Sally, honey, she been trying to debate Karen all this time. She finally says, I hate my kids. I hate my children. Okay. Oh, we didn't expect that. I hate being a mother, and I hate myself that I hate my children. Well, that's got to be a terrible feeling. Karen is looking at her like, well, girl, I kind of know what you mean, because I hate my kids too. So then Sally really truly opens up. I have been here 4 times. I hope that it works. And then I go home and all them damn kids are still there. I said, girl, you ain't on trying to get better. You on vacation. Sally says that she wants to run away. And Karen says she understands because she wants to run away too, but the people need her. They're not really her kids, but they are her kids. Trust me, they are your kids, Annalise. And because Annalise is usually a good judgment of character, when Sally opened up to her, I mean, you got to believe in somebody that that tells you that they hate their kids and that they wish that when they go home they weren't there, but they still there. So then Annalise opens up and says, my name is Annalise Keaton. People believe that I murdered my husband and I didn't, but I helped cover it up. I said, oh, Lord. Child, we have turned the page. And then I was real proud of myself because just earlier I was telling you guys that I was just like, okay, she's trapped. Okay. And the only way she's going to get past this is if she's able to say it to somebody. And she trusted Sally. Now I was like, are you sure Sally is the one? I mean, Sally, do seem to have a big mouth, run her mouth too much, but Annalise had to go on and take that chance. She needs to be free. So the next morning, she looks around and Sally's not in her bed. She panics. She jumps up like, oh my God, what did I just do? She runs outside and the police is there. Sally's talking to the police. And she's like, fuck, did she just tell on me? And then one of her other rehab patients that are in the place with her tells her that somebody else had then went off and beat up the cook. Okay, so then Annalise is feeling like, okay, maybe I'm safe. But then she goes and finds Sally later on, who's sitting at the table eating, and she goes up to her and she says, listen, I was just talking last night and all this, and Sally stops her. Okay, they have this thing there where they say, I see you and I love you. Okay, and so Sally grabs her hand and she tells her, I see you and I love you. And I said, oh, I think this is going to be good for Annalise, you know, because first of all, who the fuck done told her that they love her? I mean, she probably ain't heard that in a long time. Maybe the white woman lesbian that she used to be with, what was her name? What did I used to call her? But other than that, I was just like, oh, a complete stranger has just told you that you love her, that she loves you. She understands. And that was her way of saying your secret is safe with me. So maybe this is a good place for Annalise or Karen or whatever you want to call her. So then I was like, Annalise, go, run, be free. Now let's go back to the house. Michaela's in bed. She's upset. She doesn't know where her best friend Laurel and her eyebrows are. Okay. Downstairs, the boys are still trying to figure out, you know, this whole thing with her father, you know, and the fact that Annalise knew him. Asher wants to tell her, but they're like, no, we can't say anything until we know why Annalise chose her. You know, some of them know why they were chosen, others don't. So they're still trying to figure out this piece of the puzzle. Anyway, fine as Frank comes in and he says, you know what, let's do some hacking and see if we can ping Laurel and her eyebrows location. And they're like, you know, her family is a big tech corporation. Do you really think that they're gonna let it be easy for us to just ping her and find her? Oh, fine ass Frank thinks so. All right, while they're down there talking, Michaela comes and tells her that gorgeous Gabe is outside. Okay, and then, you know, Ashley, you want me to take care of it? She, you know, no, let her go on out there and take care of it. And child, gorgeous Gabe then stepped out on a limb and told her that he likes her a whole lot and he wants her. Okay, and right when she's about to say something to him, then here comes Asher. Asher comes and tells her, Laurel and eyebrows want to talk to you wherever she is. All right, and Michaela's like, I'll call you later. So she goes in and, you know, Asher, he's got to figure out what exactly is gorgeous Gabe's angle. Like, what is your intentions with, I'm sorry, the camera keeps moving. Let me stop moving so much. What's your intentions with Michaela? And, gorgeous Gabe says there's no intentions. I like her. You know, I would like to be with her. You know, they don't trust him because he was talking to the FBI, but he was like, I don't talk to the FBI anymore. How many times do I have to tell you guys that? You know, and Asher says, well, that's good because I'd rather us be bros than foes. I said, he is so fucking corny. So, you know, he invites old gorgeous Gabe in, you know, for breakfast. And, but you see when gorgeous Gabe walks in front of him, you know, Asher makes this face. He don't trust him, but I guess you got to keep your enemies close, right? Now we see real nice Nate, you know, brooding as usual. And, hey, he kind of sounds like Fitz too. He's trying to find out who was in charge of the autopsy for Emmett. She was like, listen, we need to let this whole thing go. Let's just move forward. But he was just like, and forget about what happened to my pops? I don't think so. You need to tell me who the damn person is doing the autopsy. So she goes on and tells him. So he finds the guy. He's pressing the guy to try to find out what was up with the autopsy. And the guy tells him that Steen had the body transferred to London. It's all going to be done there. The autopsy, the funeral, everything. So we see Steen and fuck, even the law office is dark now. Remember how white and bright it used to be? Now that shit is dark. See what happens when Annalise gets involved with anything? So she just kind of staring at Emmett's office. And then behind her, there is real nice Nate. And he's asking her about Emmett. She says, well, the partners made her have the body transferred to London, you know, and there's nothing else that she could do about it. He says, that does sound sketchy, don't you think? And she says, I know you don't think that I was involved. He said, no, I didn't say that. And she was like, okay, well, you need to shut up because they probably got this whole entire place bugged. And he said, good, then maybe they'll know that I'm coming for them. I said, real nice, Nate, you just reckless, huh? How you just gonna be talking all loud out there like that? You know these people just killed Emmett? She says, well, look, you can be suspicious if you want to, but I basically walked in here and saw my friend gasping for air and I gave him CPR and I was trying to get him to breathe and he died right here in my face. He was a true friend of mine and you can get the hell out of here. So real nice Nate was like, fine, okay, as long as everybody know that I'm coming for him. Real nice Nate wants all the smoke. Back at the house, they humor fine-ass Frank, and they do try to ping Laurel and Eyebrow's phone. And, of course, the phone is jumping around all over the United States every 2 minutes. All right. Yeah, just like we said, we're not going to be able to find her this way. Fine ass Frank is mad that they was stupid enough to let the baby get away. You know, if he would have been with fine ass Frank, the baby would have been fine. And they was like, yeah, that's exactly why Laurel and her eyebrows trusted us with him and not you. Okay, that's why she asked us to be the guardian. Fine ass Frank will say you lying. And they said, nope, and we can show you the paperwork to let you know, talking about Connor and Oliver. I said, fine ass Frank, you gonna learn one day that girl did not think nothing about you. Why you so damn stupid over this woman? So after fine ass Frank is gone, you know, and the boys are sitting around talking about Asher, Connor, and Oliver, you know, they're worried that Laurel and her eyebrows are dead. I was like, wouldn't that be great? Oliver is still on this whole, let's let fine ass Frank torture somebody, you know, to find out what it is. And Connor was just like, what do you mean torture? Aren't you scared? And Oliver says, no, I'm not scared. And if you are scared, then I'll protect you. I said, oh yeah, like you did before the wedding, huh? No thanks. But you know, Connor goes on and humors him. You know, Oliver says, I'm gonna protect you all over this bedroom. I was like, go somewhere, okay? So yeah, they're about to go on and have sex. We take it on downstairs to Asher and Michaela. They're down there talking, having to suffer through listening to the love-making sounds of Oliver and Connor. But Asher is trying to get Michaela to open up about her new flame, Gorgeous Gabe. He was like, we'll talk girl to girl, okay? And she says, look, it's not gonna work, because once he finds out who we are, and you know, Asher acts like he doesn't know what she's talking about. She was like, you know exactly what I mean. Then that relationship will never work. And he was like, well, look at Connor and Oliver. They're a perfect example. You know, even though Oliver found out what happened with Connor, he still stayed with him. Okay, and now we got to listen to them ooh and all fucking night. So Asher feels like it's still hope for them. It's no hope for you guys, Asher. Michaela, even if it doesn't work with her and Gorgeous Gabe, Asher is too nice of a person for Michaela, okay? You need to find you a nice little girl somewhere else. Fine ass Frank is back at the house, and he's calling Laurel and her eyebrows, knowing the bitch ain't gonna answer the phone, but he's drunk, and you know, he's just like, Laurel, please. I was just like, oh God. You know, even Bonnie is standing in the background listening. I'm here. You got all this woman, and you dealing with that fool who done told you a whole bunch of times that she don't love you. She was in love with Wes, and she has his baby, and blah, 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 blah. Bonnie says, well, what if what they said is true? What if she did run off? He says, oh, she never would do that because she left this little stuffed animal, and little Christopher can't sleep without it. He'll cry and cry and cry. So she probably didn't know shit about that damn stuffed animal. Wasn't you always with the fucking baby? Fine ass Frank, you better get over this bitch, and I mean get over her soon. Ooh, that fine ass Frank. He just is so less sexy when he just keep on pining over that girl. Anyway, Michaela, she goes over to Gorgeous Gabe's house, and she tells him, listen, I like you and I want you too, okay? But let me just make a few things clear first. Laurel and her eyebrows is gone. She done took the baby. We don't know where she is. I don't even know if she's coming back, and that's my best good girlfriend. I'm tired of motherfuckers leaving me. So promise me that you're not gonna ghost me, that you're not gonna lie to me, that you're not gonna break up with me, because if you do, then I'm gonna cut off your dick and I'll put it in the garbage disposal. Gorgeous Gabe says, I'm here for the long haul. And she says, okay, so now we can fuck. I was just like, girl, he was gonna tell you whatever, even, you know, because when we know the promise of some ass is right around the corner, we gonna say whatever we can to make it happen. Then we jump over to Real Nice Nate, child. He ain't got no shirt on. I said, Real Nice Nate looked like he lost a little weight. Did he look a little thin? He still looked good, but he looked smaller to me. Anyway, he's still researching Steam, trying to figure out, you know, exactly what's up with this old girl. And then he gets a message. And next thing we know, we see him at the airport picking up his girl, Annalise. He was like, what kind of rehab center is only for a week? And she was just like, oh, I couldn't let them know that I was at rehab, you know, might lose my license. Anyways, I'm back. And I must say that Annalise does look good. If it could happen in a week, she looks good. She looks like she's let that load off of her shoulders, and she's ready to make it work around there. So he's happy to see his girl. And yeah, she's back. So she sends a text message to Michaela. I'm assuming all the kids, but Michaela is the one that we see. She's in bed with Gorgeous Gabe. They just finished, you know, post-coital. It says, I'm back. Meet me at the house in an hour. So she's like, oh, I gotta go. I promised, Oliver and Connor I would cook or something like that. He said, you want me to come with you? No, baby, you just stay right there. You was working hard, boy. Okay, so she leaves out. And then as if on cue, Gorgeous Gabe gets a call from his mother. And he was like, oh, Mom, I know that I haven't talked to you in a week. And she was just like, yeah, you'll have to make it up to me, yada, yada, yada. But tell me this. Who the fuck is his mama? Okay. Does he know that he's not talking to his mama? Do he think that he's talking to his mama? Is that his mama who is stalking out his apartment out there in the car in the front? Okay. She looked too young to be his mama. That can't be his mama. Okay. I'm just like, what's happening here? All right. She's looking up at his apartment and I'm just like, huh? Now y'all help me out, because y'all know sometimes it take me a little while to put two and two together. Now, clearly that ain't his mama. And I'm sure he knows that. Or maybe he doesn't. Or maybe that is his mama. She didn't look old enough to be his mama, did? Am I tripping? I was like, huh? But, yeah. We got our good eye on old girl. But whatever, everybody rushes over to Annalise's home. Annalise is a new woman. She even got a fucking lamp on. It's still dark up in there though. But she got Michaela, Asher, Oliver, and Connor there. And she tells them that I want to live. Don't you guys? Don't you want to be free? Okay, they looking at her like, now what is this? Is she still on drugs? So she brings the exercise from her that she learned in this week on home to them. We are gonna beat all of these bad feelings out of us because we need to be free of all of this. We are good people, so we're gonna beat it. I got my poker from the chimney and we're gonna use this ottoman, put this right there in front of us, and we're gonna beat every single bad thought out of it. Michaela was just like, I ain't doing that. I'm fixing to go tell the FBI that Laurel and her eyebrows is missing. She says, oh, don't worry about it. Finance Frank and Bonnie already on it. We flash over to them and the FBI is combing through Laurel and her eyebrows house. Okay, so they're looking for her. So Annalise tries to tell her, listen, Laurel and her eyebrows is probably fine. Okay, she don't need us. She has never needed us. Okay, and it's about time that you start taking care of yourself. Just take this poker and beat it away. I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna help you. So we got Asher first. Okay, Asher, just get on down there. I know it feels a little strange and everything, but just get yourself ready. Here go the poker, okay? You done lost all your family. You done lost Michaela, okay? Go on and beat it out. You a good person, Asher. Go on, you can do it, you can do it. So Asher lets the rage out. He's not a dork. He's this, he's that. He's a good person. He deserves to be happy. He deserves this, I'm a good man. I'm a good man. I'm a good man. All right, while we're doing this exercise, we still see real nice Nate over there. He's still researching old Steen. He got that strange little bug in his stomach that something is up with her. And he gonna figure it the fuck out, okay? And speaking of Steen, we see her. She got a box. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's not leaving the partnership, is she? Oh no, she's moving into Emmett's office. All right? Picks up his glasses that's on the desk and says, boy, bye. And throws him in the trash. I said, well, damn, you couldn't put him in a drawer? I mean, the man, is he cold? He ain't even cold in the ground yet. So then I was just like, oh, Steen. Now, what is this? Do we need to be looking at you with our good eye, too? Back at Annalise. Connor is next. Okay? Go on and beat it out. You can do this. You can do it. Here's a poker. Sam, Wes, Christopher, none of them are your fault. So then he get to beating the ottoman. It wasn't my fault. There's good in me. I'm a good person. I'm a good man. Whip, whip, whip. Jumps over to Gorgeous Gabe's mama. We're going to put the quotations mark around her because I don't know what to think of old girl. Okay? Obviously, she's a police or an investigator or something because she puts a box in a closet in a room that looks like it's either a rented room or a hotel room or something, more like a rented room. Puts it in the closet and it says Sam Keaton and it says a case number. Okay, so she's obviously researching all of this. Then she gets a text message that says Annalise is back. I'm trying to figure out, was that from Gorgeous Gabe? Then we see Oliver is next. Come on, Oliver. Put your back into it. Okay, here go the poker. Well, Oliver now he says, I'm not a scaredy cat. I'm not afraid. Okay, I'm strong. I'm a man. I can protect. I got my man over there. I'm gonna whoop their ass if they try to do something to my man again. Poor Oliver. I guess that did something to him, seeing the love of his life get the hell beat out of him. Then back at the house, back at Laurel's house, we see fine ass Frank, you know, the people are still doing an investigation, everything, and he sees a picture and he sees something sticking out of it. Oh, what is this? Okay, I guess the investigators missed that. So he takes the picture and he goes in the bathroom and he pulls out the back of the picture, and there's a key back there. Well, what could this be? Next is Michaela. Now, Michaela's going to be a little more difficult. Okay, Michaela, put your back into it. Here go the poker. Just go on and let it all out. Let it all out. Okay, Michaela's like, oh, I miss my friend Laurel and her eyebrows. I don't know where she is there. Okay, you happy? No. No, you got to put it, you got to really get serious with this now. You done did everything on your own. People have left you. You made it on your own. You're a strong woman. Go on and let the ottoman have it. So then, you know, Michaela goes, you know, I'm a strong woman. I did everything on my own. I always do everything on my own. I'm a strong woman. I deserve to be happy. I deserve this. Okay. So everybody done let it out on this ottoman. So don't you guys feel better? All right. Now we relieved. We about to be free. And Asher says, well, yeah, we'd all feel much better if you tell Michaela that you knew her daddy. And Michaela says, if that's the truth, then I'm going to kill you right now. And you know what? Michaela got the poker in her hand. So I was just like, oh, Annalise. Girl, that's why you don't need these fucking ass kids. They such assholes. Now we done did this whole cathartic exercise, and still you got to be trying to explain yourself to these old unappreciative ass, spoiled ass, rotten kids. They fucked up. Leave them alone. Leave them alone, girl. Run off with Sally some damn where. Then we get some weird sequence where first we see a poker and it's slinging and it's got blood on it. So I was just like, nah, I know she ain't fucked up Annalise. Annalise would fuck Michaela up. I do know that. Okay, but next thing we see is another funeral. And from the camera's vantage point, he's coming through a crowd of people and somebody's talking, you know, funeral talk at the front. And then it pans to a picture, and it's Annalise's funeral again. I said, oh, Annalise, how many times you gonna die this season, child? All right, rock stars, that's it. Let me get on back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.